has been injured through no fault of your own, you may need legal counseling to advise you of your right to fair monetary compensation. At Taft, Hagler, we do our best to provide complete quality legal representation to each client in every case, no matter how large or small. Call 752-2000 for a free consultation from experienced professionals who care.
First in news from the capital to the coast, this is News Center 9's 6 o'clock report, live from the studios of WNCT TV.
It was a gruesome murder scene at a hotel in the east just a couple of weeks ago, and tonight police say they believe they've caught the killer. Hello everyone, I'm Alan Hoffman. I thank you for being with us on the First in News tonight. This man, 19-year-old Keith Bernard Lane, is behind bars tonight. He is charged with the June 12th killing of a man at the Greenville Holiday Inn. You remember we reported to you 22-year-old Timothy Joyner was found shot to death at the hotel, and the only lead police say they had at the time was a woman's name on the hotel registry list. Yesterday, Kinston police discovered Lane was staying at the Kinston Motor Lodge. Lane spent the morning in court today, and tonight he is in the Pitt County Jail being held without bond. His court-scheduled appearance is up for July 12th, and by the way, police in Greenville say Lane was arrested thanks to a tip to the Crime Stoppers line. A Goldsboro man is in jail tonight, too. His girlfriend is dead following an argument that turned violent last night. Our Carolyn Cusbett just got back from LaGrange. Here's more.
These bloodstains are the only sign that anything went wrong last night in 31-year-old Julia Williams' apartment. Williams lived here with her son for 5 months, and last night, she died here.
The lady was laying there on the floor, and the person apparently had done the stabbing was waiting there when I got here, and he admitted that he had done, the crime.
The man who police say did the crime is Julia Williams' boyfriend, 29-year-old Raymond Grantham from Goldsboro. He went over to Williams' apartment around 7 last night to get his furniture. When he found her with another man, police say he snapped.
Mr. Grantham had come to get his furniture because it's another subject here at the time, and he didn't like what he seen, and he went after the gentleman, and she was trying to hold him back, and at that time he turned around and struck her with the knife.
Grantham has been charged with first-degree murder in the death of his girlfriend. Although her neighbors refused to go on camera, they all said the same thing. That Julia Williams was a quiet woman who kept to herself, a good neighbor, which makes what happened here last night all the more shocking. Carolyn Cusbett, News Center 9, the First in News.
And on Crime Stoppers tonight, police need your help to find an arsonist, not just any arsonist. Apparently, he called the fire department twice to tell them he was setting the fire. Here's Sergeant Doug Jackson with tonight's Crime Stoppers report.
This week, Crime Stoppers is requesting information on an intentionally set fire that occurred on June 18th at 1016 Myrtle Avenue in Greenville. At approximately 9:30 p.m., 911 received a call asking to speak to the fire chief. The fire chief talked to a black male who stated that a building was going to be burned down in Greenville that night. He then hung up the phone. Approximately 30 minutes later, he called back and stated that he had been paid several $100s to burn a building down that night. And he again hung the phone up. At approximately 10:15 p.m., the fire alarm was received that the building known as Mojo Sportwear on Myrtle Avenue was on fire. It has been determined by investigators that the blaze was intentionally set. Crime Stoppers will pay up to $2,500 for information that results in arrest in this case and cause them not have to give the name. The Crime Stoppers telephone number is 758-7777. And remember, we only want your information, not your name. For Pitt Greenville Crime Stoppers, I'm Sergeant Doug Jackson.
Now, you might recall last week we told you someone had stolen a 12-gauge pump shotgun from an unmarked Greenville police car. Well, today police say they have recovered the weapon from a home in the Moywood subdivision. They aren't saying if they believe the people who lived in the home took it from the car. So far, they have made no arrests in this case. You know, we're in the middle of what's being billed as Freedom Week for our state. It started on Saturday with that huge parade in Raleigh, and there will be another big parade in Jacksonville tomorrow. However, today was a day to honor Desert Storm vets, too. Our Wayne Koval has more from Jacksonville.
Today's dedication ceremony encompasses all of Onslow County. The first dedication was of a freedom trail used for jogging and bike riding. The trail covers most of downtown Jacksonville. The second dedication was a groundbreaking for a set of 3 flags to be permanently displayed at the Waterfront Park. The 3 flags will represent the Marine Corps, Navy, and the United States. The third dedication, officially named Highway 24 between Jacksonville and Morehead City, Freedom Way. Today's ceremony shows the support the local community gives to the Marine Corps.
I think everyone has shown their support. Certainly, a few weeks back when the 4th MEB came home, we saw people join hand to hand all the way from Morehead City to Jacksonville. It's been a great time. We're so very thankful that we had as few injuries and casualties as we did, and we want to, I think, somewhere on the near the level of the performance that they showed, we want to show that same level of gratitude and thanks.
I've never been anywhere where the community and the military installation that makes up such an important part of it have been so closely together and tied in one voice and one mission.
Today's ceremony is just one of many events being held during this special week. Tomorrow, 40,000 people are expected to attend the parade down Western Boulevard. Thursday, Camp Lejeune will hold its annual festival, complete with fireworks. And Friday, a Freedom Bloodmobile will be held at the Jacksonville Mall. Wayne Colville, News Center 9, the First in News.
Now, as Wayne said, tomorrow thousands will turn out for a huge parade in honor of the Desert Storm folks in Jacksonville. And right now, it's getting down to the wire for those preparing for it. Today, the Caring Community Committee will make sure the bleachers and the reviewing stands were all in place. Now, all that includes a 67-ton M1A1 Abrams tank. The state had to give the city special permission to allow the huge machine to use state roads to get to the staging area on Western Boulevard. That's not all. Also on hand will be a captured Iraqi tank that's made by the Soviet Union.
This country during the war was so together in their support. And that's very important, and it's very important that these young people in the military have a chance to see that and to, I guess, participate together saying thank you back, and that's part of what the parade is as well.
More than 5,000 Camp Lejeune Marines and sailors will march in the parade. It starts at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Of course, News Center 9 will be there to give you a full report on it, and we'll have a live cut-in during the parade so that you can take a look at what's happening. Now, today, bad weather. Matter of fact, over in Craven County, they had some trees down.
Yes, we have had trees down along Highway 17 near New Bern, some strong gusty winds. Also, Alan, we have seen some funnel clouds reported earlier in the afternoon that has since calmed down. Also near Aurora, we'll have all those stormy details coming up in just a moment.
Finally, performance and style meet affordability. Introducing the 91 Plymouth Laser, with advantages like sleek, provocative lines, a wraparound instrument cluster, and a multi-port fuel-injected power plant that provides performance without sacrificing fuel economy. Right now at $10,864, you can drive a 91 Laser for $184 per month. Performance, style, affordability. Advantage Laser.
Advantage Carolina. See your Carolina Chrysler Plymouth dealer today.
This morning, as guests at the five-star Arizona Biltmore are tempted to breakfast, the fine brewed coffee usually served has been secretly switched to Folgers Crystals. Does it have the fresh brewed taste and aroma these guests expect?
They were just sort of waft me out of bed. It tastes like fresh ground beans.
Help wake us up. Get us going.
It's Folgers Crystals.
Coffee drawing. I would have thought it was brewed. Is the word elegant? Can that be used for coffee?
Mountain-grown Folgers Crystals. Coffee rich enough to be served in America's finest restaurants.
I'll drink to that.
We're red and white because Christmas in July has started. Sunshine Gardens in Greenville, Newbern, Morehead, and Goldsboro. Gorgeous blooming hibiscus and crepe myrtles. Special selections at just $2.88 each. Now you save on blooming hanging baskets. 2 for $9.88. All the annuals are now half price. It's a great time to buy your silk flowers. Buy 2, get the third one free, and we'll freely design your arrangements. Now's the time to visit our Christmas shops. They're buy 2, get the third one free on all the ornaments, and beautiful selections of wreaths, trees, and garlands are half price. Now at Sunshine Garden Christmas in July.
Bought my glasses at Lens Lab.
Because one is not enough.
Got my glasses at Lens Lab. Because one is not enough. Lens Lab understands. You have an active life. 1 pair of glasses is not enough. So right now, Lens Lab will give you 2 pair of glasses for the price of 1. That's right, 2 for 1, with the free pair from our Active Life frame collection. So come to Lens Lab, because 1 is not enough.
2 for 1 at Lens Lab, Carolina East Mall, Greenville.
Today was the third day in a row with highs at least into the middle 90s for most of eastern Carolina. And with that very warm and humid air, we have seen a few strong storms. Let's see, first of all, our conditions now for the day, and we'll see a high temperature of 96. The low this morning was a muggy, sultry 75. The normal's 88 and 66. Well, that would be almost cool compared to today. A look at our current conditions. Cloudy, steamy, 78 degrees. The winds are light from the southwest. The relative humidity very high after some rain, 88%. Pressure falling, 29, 87. And so far for the afternoon, 37/100ths of an inch of rain fell at the TV station. Let's check now for a weather question for you. Is it too wet or too dry? Well, our normal rainfall through June is 23.64 inches of rain. So far this year, we're at 18.94. As you can see, the difference there, 4.7 inches too dry. So even though we did have a wet June, we can still use the rain. Let's check now of our radars. For the afternoon, we're watching the showers and thunderstorms which developed earlier in the afternoon from Greenville to Fayetteville. They are moving to the east and the southeast, as you see here. These are the same storms which did produce funnel clouds near the mouth of the Pamlico, near Aurora, also near New Bern, in fact, causing some trees down there. Our latest radar now finds those rain showers mainly around the Pamlico Sound back through Havelock and from there to Richlands. This rain area is moving southeast. Also, one lone thunder shower near Tarboro seems to be just sitting there. These showers will be tapering, though, through this evening. A check now of our temperatures across the area. Look at Rocky Mount Wilson. No rain there through the day, 91 and 92 respectively. It has cooled behind the rain, although very steamy. Greenville 78, Kinston and Washington 79. New Bern 77, the rain about to end there, 79, with rain in the area for Atlantic Beach. A check of our satellite view, you can see the tops of some of the clouds as they began to develop across the east. That bright white area showing you those storms. Also rain showers down for Florida. And notice the spiral in the top of your picture. Well, that is a very large storm system which may try to bring some cooler weather our way, perhaps after the 4th of July. It looks as though it will remain quite hot until that time. As for our current weather map, we're seeing a frontal system which slipped down from the north and did produce our thunder showers for the afternoon. That is becoming a warm front now from around Elizabeth City back to Roanoke, Virginia. As that begins to move northward, that means no chance of a cool down, at least not anytime very soon. There's our wrapping storm system in the Great Lakes back into southern Canada. Rain showers and thunderstorms there. And look at the word cool written across Lake Erie. Somewhat unusual, but I don't think we'll be seeing that once again for quite some time. As for tomorrow's weather map, now don't let this throw you. It should not be a rainy day tomorrow. Somewhat like today, just a few scattered showers and thunderstorms developing. Our frontal system will begin to move back north, so once again we're going to stay in the mid-90s for daytime highs, and that cold front now will stretch from, say, Chicago back to the panhandle of Texas, and that, it looks as though, will be arriving sometime perhaps after the 4th of July. Let's now take a look at our forecast for the coast for tonight, and there we're finding evening thunderstorms. In fact, we even have a special marine warning just put into effect now from the Pamlico Sound south of Englehard to Cape Hatteras. But afterwards tonight, look for a partly cloudy night, 75 degrees for the low, the wind southwest 15 to 20 knots, and the waves will be kicking up near these storms at least 3 to 5 feet. As for tomorrow, a partly sunny day, some scattered thunderstorms for the afternoon and the evenings. Look for 93 for the high, the wind southerly 15 to 20 knots, waves 3 to 5 feet. And as for the tide chart, high tides will be occurring 11:26 for the Crystal Coast. They'll be occurring low tides around 5:45 in the morning, and the water temp at 80. As for the inland areas, look for a partly cloudy, warm, muggy night, a low of 75, wind southwest. Tomorrow should be another day like today, a hot one. Look for a few late day frog stranglers, 95, and those southwest breezes will continue. As for sun rising 1 before 6, setting 8:30, Car Lake 299.4. The next 4 days, hot through the 4th, a firecracker day there, afternoon thunderstorms, and it looks as though Friday and Saturday turning cooler, and our chance of rain should be gone by the weekend. So if you have next weekend off, looks like that will be our best weather.
Well, that sounds great. I think I've got it off. It's a good thing. You know, those rains in the afternoon just seem to make it more uncomfortable rather than cool.
Yes, no real cool air to come until the weekend, it looks like.
All right. Thanks, Philip. Well, with the hot weather, of course, the tobacco's been growing pretty well. The experts have put their heads together, and they're predicting a super to great crop for 1991. They're also forecasting sales of more than $1 billion. Ag extension agents say the hot, dry spring, capped off with that heavy late rain, was perfect for growing good tobacco. They also tell us the dry spell was good because of the stress it put on the tobacco during the mild drought and prior to topping. Of course, that's good for the plants, they say. The eastern markets will open in a few weeks. And from Wall Street, the stock market rallied strongly today. The Dow gained 51.5 points in active trading. The market started off strong in reaction to a cut in the Japanese discount rate, and stocks remained up throughout the trading day. New evidence that the recession is almost over also helped stocks.
Here are going to parachute out of this plane and land squarely, whoa, in the showroom for a Carolina Chevy dealer. Because the Carolina Chevrolet dealers have got some great deals, like $1,000 cash back and as low as 1.9% financing on the Chevy S10 Blazer. We're going to get us one of those Blazers, whoa, and $1,000 cash back and some of that low 1.9% financing. Ain't that right, Bobby? Bobby, don't land on one of our Blazers.
The lowest financing and the biggest discounts in years now at your Carolina Chevrolet Geo dealers.
Well, run for the border, now don't miss this. Taco Bell's got tacos with a brand new twist. New snack size, come on in. New Fiesta menu, let me say it again. Tacos and burritos in a new snack size. We call them Fiesta at a great low price. At Taco Bell, Bubba, you heard me right. You heard me right. Well, Fiesta burrito, Fiesta taco, Fiesta soft taco, yes indeed-o. Taco Bell, run for the border, come on in, 'cause Taco Bell's done it again.
Take one hot summer day. Throw in a few scoops of ice cream. Add a dash of laughter. And lots of cold, fresh milk. Give it all a shake. Then pour into a big, sunny glass. It may look like a milkshake, but it feels like a whole lot more.
If your light bulb burns out, your dimmer won't dim, or your extension cord's gone bad, then it's time for a quick trip to Lowe's, because Lowe's has everything you need to fix anything you have that has anything to do with your home, period. So why don't you fix it?
For whatever you need to maintain your home, we have it all at Lowe's.
Just fix it.
Well, the North Carolina prison system took a giant step forward today when it unveiled a brand new mental health correctional facility for women. The center is expected to ease the overcrowded problem for women who are often neglected and overlooked because of the needs of the male prisoners. Our Dave Savini has our story.
There's a catch to doing time at this prison. First of all, you have to be a woman, and secondly, you need to have a mental health problem. And that's a good thing because officials for the new $1.4 million facility say women with mental health deficiencies have been neglected for too long in this state.
We just didn't have a choice. To not do this would have been inhumane.
It's the first facility of its kind. Here, the staff outnumbers inpatients by a ratio of 2 to 1. In addition to that, the center provides outpatient care for about 200 prisoners a day. The women spend much of their time working out both their bodies and their minds, a rehabilitation process that never existed in this state.
If this place never existed, they would be housed in a prison segregation unit in a single cell without direct access to treatment.
Treatment that is greatly needed now that more women are committing crimes than ever before.
The percentage of female offenders entering the system is at a higher rate than the percentage of male offenders that are entering the system both nationally and in this state.
Staff for the new facility expect it will open the doors for other states to do the same, calling their rehabilitation efforts a model program that will keep prisoners from repeating the same offenses over and over again. Dave Savini, News Center 9, the First in News.
Here's what's happening in our state. Some opponents of that hazardous waste incinerator will be asking for Pender County commissioners to resign. The group says the 3 commissioners who voted to invite Thermal Chem to the area should quit. They'll take their opposition to it to the General Assembly tomorrow. Meanwhile, State Senator Frank Block of New Hanover County is proposing the Senate Appropriations Committee require Pender County to hold a binding referendum on that issue. North Carolina is one of 7 states still does not have a budget. The General Assembly failed to approve a payment plan that would keep the government running next year. However, the state is operating on last year's budget parameters. And how'd you like to get this in the mail? A letter congratulating you on winning an all expenses paid trip to Las Vegas. Well, it happened to 120 people in Wilkes County, but what they won was a trip to the county jail. You see, police sent them to a note that looked just like that because they were wanted on a variety of outstanding warrants, for murder to fishing without a license. It was an emotional ceremony today for the Army ROTC program at East Carolina University. Major Larry Rudney Gwaltney is now Lieutenant Colonel Larry Gwaltney. For the past year, he's been military science professor at ECU. After 17 years, he's now a light colonel. But what makes today's ceremony more poignant is, 2 years ago, Gwaltney was diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease.
And we only promote a certain number per month. Rod's promotion date would probably be in September or October sometime. But in recognition of this was a special occasion where all the family was going to be together, and it was just a good time, General Orr saw fit upon when it was requested of him that he grant this. And again, it shows the Army's caring attitude.
Swain says Gwaltney is popular with his students, but he is expected to retire this coming fall. In sports, one of the big names won't be there for the finals. Huh?
And Yvonne Lindell has had his problems before at the Big W, and he has them again finally in the rain as we begin the second week of play at Wimbledon. Yvonne Lindell is gone. We'll have highlights of that match, plus the Michael Jordan Celebrity Classic. Another success right after this.
Help celebrate the biggest Ford sales event of the year. It's Ford's Great American Parade of Values going on now at your Carolina Ford dealer, featuring America's best-built, best-selling cars and trucks, like America's design leader, Ford Taurus. Right now, get this Taurus GL with air, automatic, stereo cassette, power driver seat, and plenty more. You'll save $1,450 from the factory. And that's before you make your best deal at your Carolina Ford dealer's Great American Parade of Values.
Call now and get a hot deal on a Domino's Bacon Double Cheeseburger Pizza Feast, loaded with bacon, ground beef, and cheese. Call Domino's now and get a medium Bacon Double Cheeseburger Pizza Feast for only $8.99 and get another one for only $4 more.
Dear Mom and Dad, great news.
Tommy's coming home. Oh, Jack, Tommy's coming home.
I can't tell you how much I miss you both. And how much I'm looking forward to a good home-cooked meal. See you soon. Love, Tommy.
What a wonderful day.
Oh, P.S. and Mom, I sure hope you're gonna make me one of your great pies.
Home sweet home. From Dixie Crystal Sugar.
How intense is the new Anaconda roller coaster at King's Dominion? Let's just say, it's enough to put a few gray hairs on you.
Get $4 coupons from Food Lion, good June 8th through July 21st.
Week 2 of Wimbledon kicked off with an upset. Yvonne Lindell's problems continuing at the Big W. It is the earliest exit from the All-England club for Lindell in a decade, and is yet another in the series of frustrations of the world's top players. David Wheaton with the win today. Yvonne Lindell in the far court here, and he plays a nice point from the net for the easy winner. But David Wheaton, a man possessed 16 aces. He blows one past the third seed. He's going the wrong way. Wheaton the first set, Lindell the second, and then it was all David Wheaton here at match point. And the Minnesota native advances 6-3, 3-6, 7-6, and 6-3. Those final numbers. Women's play, the quarterfinals await as Martina Navratilova advanced here on the long volley. And Navratilova gets the point on Katarina Lindquist. Match point And Navratilova advances. She wins by the final numbers of 6-1 and 6-3. Another women's play today, young Jennifer Capriati, she too would advance. She would beat up on Brenda Schultz of Holland, though she lost the first set 3-6. Comes from behind to win 6-1 and 6-1. As far as the rest of the day was concerned, everything went just about as planned. Boris Becker, Andre Agassi, Guy Forget all advancing. On the women's side, Steffi Graf, Gabriela Sabatini, Arantxa Sanchez Vicario, and Mary Jo Fernandez all winning today at Wimbledon. A record crowd and near record heat, the stories of the day for yesterday's Michael Jordan Celebrity Golf Classic. The stars were out in Forcerbrook Valley playing in front of a gallery estimated at somewhere near 9,000, and most were not disappointed. It's hard to imagine that even Michael Jordan could have seen the growth of this tournament. More celebrities, more stars, more people, and more Jordan, who did his very best for autograph seekers throughout the day. All of the stars seem to enjoy the event, which of course benefits the 4 Ronald McDonald houses of North Carolina.
It's terrific. It makes you feel important and just makes you feel very good. It's a lovely event.
A very close friend who had a niece who died of cancer a few years ago, and at that time my wife and I spent a lot of time with her and that family at the Ronald McDonald House in Long Island, and it was just a very moving kind of experience, and I always feel like it's a great thing.
For Jordan, despite his team's 3 Eagles, the NBA's MVP had to settle for second place in his own tournament, one that he says should continue to grow as he continues to try and give something back.
It's an obligation for me to help out other people get to the point where I am and get past the point where I am. So I still feel that obligation no matter what I've accomplished thus far. I still feel I have to give a message and help out other people obtain something good.
A team of Mitchell Lawrence edged out Jordan's fivesome in a card draw for the victory. Both teams were 14 under par in the Captain's Choice Super Bowl format, at least $120,000 raised for